Jordan Henderson's move away from Saudi Arabia. Not just the fact that he's gone to Ajax, which is the club he's ended up at. There was a lot of rumours of different people being interested in him. But more what this says about the Saudi league as a whole, because he was one of the big marquee signings, and it's clearly not gone very well. Ellis, what do you think?
I think with Saudi, you've seen it a little bit, that some players are probably, there's a massive difference in culture, we all know that. Some players might find it harder to settle in than others. I read an article through a Spanish newspaper, obviously in English though, that it was with Laporte, and he's saying that a lot of people are struggling to settle in and to adapt, and they kind of feel alienated. So a few of the bigger names just aren't hitting the ground running over there. I mean, I know Neymar's just had his contract terminated, but that's nothing to do with how he was finding life in Saudi.
That was obviously
his injuries. But you think you might see it a little bit more. Like obviously some players will see the big checks and go flying over there. But then you've got like an average attendance of like 8,500 a game, and to go from playing in front of 20 odd thousand fans every single game, going over to that, you just, when you're a footballer, you feed off crowds, you feed off the energy that it gives off, and you feel like you're part of something. And I think over there they're trying to build something. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, it doesn't sit right with me, to be completely honest with you. It's forced, and it's just all money orientated.
It doesn't sit right with me either. And I think what you said there about the numbers in terms of people actually attending the games, it's actually wild how low it is. I got a stat on this. So at the team that Henderson joined, they finished 7th in the Saudi league the season before he joined, with an average attendance of 5,561. This season, their first game attracted 13.9 thousand people, but that was against Ronaldo's team. So you'd expect that, and that's still only 13k. And then the second home game attracted just 4.2 thousand fans. So Henderson's gone from playing at Anfield every single week, doing unbelievably well, to then playing in front of 4.2 thousand people in the Saudi league. How do you think that makes him as an athlete who's still performing at a pretty high level feel?
I think the only reason he left Saudi is because he sat there and thought, you know what, I could still potentially get in this England Euro squad.
100%, yeah.
I think if the Euros wasn't this summer, he'd have stayed. And I would have stayed. Mate, for the money that they're paying, they'd have had to fucking drag me out of
towards the end of his career as well. Do you know what I mean?
He's won everything there is to win at Liverpool. Okay, he's not won it on the international level. I understand that desire to potentially want to get back into your last ever tournament for England, but you'd have had to drag me out of there for the money that they're paying. I'm sorry, but whether there's fucking 4,000 or 4 cunts there, mate, you're still getting paid hundreds of thousands to kick ball. Mate, I'm not leaving, personally, in my opinion.
I'm not leaving.
I wouldn't. They'd have had to do a Neymar and terminate my contract for me to go.
Nah, I feel you for the money, right? But if you are a footballer at that level and you're playing in front of an average attendance of about 7,500 throughout the season, that's lower than League Two, mate. If you've grown up in England and you're a huge football fan and you've got racks anywhere, you're a millionaire already. Like, do you not think that part of you would think, I don't want to waste my life just in the name of money?
Yeah, but you're not. The thing is, though, what you've got to think, right, is, so he's at Liverpool, he's made money to make himself and probably his kids very well off. He's gone to Saudi. If he'd have stuck it out for 2 or 3 years, bear in mind he's won everything. He's done it all on the club level. He's captained Liverpool to the Champions League, to the Premier League. He's won FA Cups. He's won Carabao Cups. He's won the Club World Cup. He's done it all, ticked every box. Done, finished. He can now go out there for 2-3 years, set up his grandkids, his great grandkids. He can set his family up, the Henderson family, for the next 3-4 generations, just from being there for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but it's not just about that. Surely, from his point of view, and this is how I'd like to imagine I'd look at it if I was a footballer. You're right, he'd have enough money, his family would be absolutely fine forever. But at the same time, they probably will be anyway with how much he's earned. If he's invested it smartly in like a little bit of property, whatever, he should be okay. But more so the fact of, if you're him now, right, and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to get in the England squad, so that's that. If he goes and starts at Ajax and does quite well, he probably will, and he'll have the opportunity to win a Euros with what is an amazing England squad in which we're the favourites to win it. Could you really knowingly pass up on that opportunity to get in that team?
But that's what I've said, and that's what I said. I said the only reason he's done that is because of England. If the Euros wasn't this summer, or if we were shit at the moment, he probably wouldn't have bothered. And I wouldn't have either. That would have been the only potential reason I would have done it. But again, I would have had to have conversations with Southgate and said, look, what are my chances?
He probably has.
Then I'm a bit worried because why the fuck is he getting in the squad? No, I'm joking. I think he should get in the squad because he's a good...
You think Henderson should still get in the England squad?
As a leader, as an old head that's won everything at club level, as somebody that can be there.
It's like Roy Keane said though, like I think in the last tournament, I don't know if it was the World Cup. He's like, he's not. I know he started against Senegal, but he was like, I think writing that was saying, oh, he's a good lead to have around. Exactly what you're saying. It was like he's good to have around camp, like, and we goes, well, is he doing fucking magic tricks on an evening to entertain them all?
Yeah, but like sometimes you need that, especially when you look at this England squad that we've got, which is quite a lot of young. Our core players are very young.
Do you not think you've lost that a little bit though? The fact that he has just played in Saudi for 6 months in front of 4 people, it means that maybe he's not. He might crumble under the pressure a little bit more.
I don't think that he changes as a person after being there for that amount of time. I mean, as you say, he is captain Liverpool to all that, and that's not that long ago. It's not like it was decades ago. It was a couple of years ago. Like, well, not even that.
I know. I just think I wouldn't have Henderson in the England squad anymore, even if he does unbelievably well at Ajax. I think that's a level below what we need for England players as well right now. The Eredivisie is obviously, it's a decent league, but there's so many better options than Henderson.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even put Phillips in there at the minute because he's not played for so long, but he's a better player right now.
I think the only reason Phillips are getting is because outside of Rice, you've got no defensive midfield cover.
He needs
but that would have been Henderson. He's more of a centre. He's more of a box to box or like just centre mid, isn't he? So he's got that defensive cover. But this is what I mean. I don't think he gets in over even Phillips, who's barely played, because Henderson's been playing against awful teams. But another point on the Henderson thing is, I feel like, based on what he'd stood for in the Premier League and in his professional career before going to Saudi, I think he's really played himself, because he obviously had a big part in promoting LGBTQ charities and you know, promoting that side of football in terms of equality, etc. And then in his announcement video in the Saudi League, in one of the clips of him where he's playing for Liverpool wearing a Pride armband that he chose to wear himself, the black and whited just the Pride armband so that no one could tell what it was. And then Henderson came out and said, oh, well, no, I'm going to try create some progress here. And obviously they've got the culture and the religions. No, you weren't, bro. You were never going to do that. You were just going to go over there for the bag. And that's fair enough.
I don't know why some of them can't just own it. Do you know what I mean? Just everybody knows. And I think that you just make yourself look like more of a twat saying these aren't the reasons that you're going and that you're unaware of this kind of stuff, or you're going to try progress a whole country and its ideology. Like, just own it, and people have a lot more respect for you if you just say, well, they're paying well, I'm coming towards the back end of my career, and it looked like a good opportunity in an up and coming growing league that a lot of big players are going to.
Not even that. I think if he'd have had a press conference and said, look, I've won everything there is to win at Liverpool, I'm 30 odd, I'm at the back end of my career, they've offered me fucking 600 grand a week, I'm taking it, it is what it is. People had gone, do you know what, mate? Fucking fair play. Because if anybody else was in that situation, they'd have gone, yeah, I'd do the exact same thing.
But this is what I mean. I wouldn't even pretend that it's, oh yeah, well, I'm going to progress I just admit that I'm going back on my morals. I'd just be like, well, yeah, I probably, some of the things I've said in the past, this country obviously doesn't agree with, but I'm getting paid 600 racks a week, so...
See, I'm here for football, not politics. Yeah. And I think that's such a big... I mean, it's brilliant for recognition. We need to talk about these kind of things, but at the end of the day, he's doing a job. If you get offered somewhere, like, say, fucking... If you look at, like, say you get offered a job up at like Nike or anything like that. Who are you? Like, it's the only profession in the world where people get slated for taking a higher paying job. Like, at the end of the day, bro, you get offered a fucking 20k pay rise a year or something like that. You gotta take it, aren't you? And at the end of the day, they're human. So, I mean, it's bad what goes on over there. We've discussed it multiple times over different podcasts. We know what goes on over there, but he's there to play football. He's not there to be a politician.
And another part of the Henderson saga is the fact that also, because he went there and they were doing something in terms of offsetting taxes, it means he's not actually earned any money for the whole time he was there. So he went back on his morals, left Liverpool, who were actually willing to keep him for another season. Admittedly, he wouldn't have been starting anywhere. Joined the amazing project in Saudi Arabia, lost a lot of his fans and got paid nothing and went to Ajax. It's wild.
I just wouldn't have left. I would not have left.
It's absolutely mental. And yeah, I hope he doesn't get in the England squad either, because he's certainly not good enough anymore. Do you think that this this is a sign of where the Saudi league's going to go, or do you think this is a blip in the road? Well, if Benzema is looking to leave as well as rumoured, they're two of the marquee signings that the league made.
I think as long as Ronaldo's there, players are going to want to go.
Yeah, but Ronaldo's old, bro. How long do you think he's going to stay?
It doesn't matter. I think as long as he's there, as long as he's promoting.
No, but I mean, he's only going to be there for another year or two.
But he's still going to keep pushing it. I mean, I'm sure he signed a deal with Saudi.
He's going to be like an ambassador for the league after he retires.
Ambassador. And I think, and as long as they're still paying the money that they're paying, I think the thing is that a lot of these players have realised that they've still got more in the tank than they actually thought. I think Benzema's kind of sat back and gone, hang on a minute, I could still play for, a top level side, win Champions Leagues. But then, how much of it is actually paper talk?
Yeah, true.
I haven't seen anything of like a press conference of Benzema actually coming out and saying, yeah, I want to leave. How much of it is just that it's January, there's a transfer window, X amount of teams.
There's always speculation.
X amount of teams need a striker, and now all of a sudden, Benzema's unhappy when nobody said that he's unhappy up until now, which just coincidentally turns into be a transfer window. Do you know what I mean? It'd be interesting to see if that kind of conversation carries on through February, March, April, into the summer.
I just think it's a bit weird how it comes to the first transfer window, really, since the big spending in the summer. Henderson's gone. There's rumours of Benzema's unhappy. Neymar's contract's been terminated, admittedly more through injuries, but it's another big name that I wouldn't have expected him to just lose no matter what the monetary situation is at that particular club. I don't know. It just seems like maybe the bubble burst a little bit, and maybe the league needs to realise that the way forward isn't particularly just signing loads of foreign stars at the end of the career.
I mean, it's obviously not quite gone to plan for them in that aspect, but then
there's always going to be bumps.
Yeah, because the attendance figures and viewing figures are horribly bad as well.
Nunes, that's a finish, that.
And it's 4-0 to Liverpool.
But then, you've got two players, so Henderson that's left and Benzema that's rumoured to want to leave. I'm not really going to throw Neymar in there because it's them that terminated his contract, not
Well, because they paid him stupid amounts, so just fucking.
But that's what I mean. That's because of the poor decision making in the league.
But then you've got a list as long as your arm of players that have gone there that there's no rumours about. Ronaldo, Mane, Ruben Neves, all of these kind of Koulibaly, Mendy that have all gone from top.
But notice how they're all the ones that are pretty mid and were doing shit in better leagues.
Mane.
Yeah,
Mane was still.
Ruben Neves was flying.
Yeah, but I was more thinking Koulibaly, Mendy.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, there's still a lot of players that have gone over there that are marquee signings. That there's no. I mean, obviously there was links of Neves being loaned to Newcastle, but I think that was more because of the Tonali thing than actually Neves wanting out. So yes, there's two players that have wanted out or potentially wanted out, but there's a shitload of players. I mean, fucking Lingard went over there. He was gagging to play out there. Do you know what I mean? There's still players.
Lingard's fucking shit, man.
There's still players that want to go out there, and I guarantee you in this summer, there'll still be another 5 to 10 players that go out. It wouldn't shock me if Casemiro and Varane went out there this summer.
You're praying they go out there this summer.
But no, do you know what I mean? No, it wouldn't shock me if they went out there. It wouldn't shock me if Salah went out there this summer. It wouldn't shock me if, a lot of these other players that are getting towards the end of their career but still have quite a big name fly out there to play out in Saudi. And it will happen for the next few years, I think, because when they're paying the money and you've got Ronaldo who's pushing it, I know he's getting on and this, that and the other, but he takes care of him that much, takes care of himself that well, and he's that much of a specimen.
He'll probably still carry on.
I could see him carrying on, and it's not high level, so he could probably still play for another 5, 6, 7 years into his 40s, because he's still going to be the biggest freak on the pitch.